You want to get information from your client in order to help them. If you don't know what they're looking for, you can't help them find it.
Jason talked about building some rapport and how that's going to help to open up what someone really wants.
So we have covered this in detail. So this is a bit of a review. So if you don't remember rapport clearly, definitely go back to those videos. But rapport is that sense of when someone is starting to trust you. It's like you meet someone, you're chatting at the bar, and it's like, hey, I kind of like this person. That's building rapport. So the reason why you want to do it, obviously, is twofold. The first one is you want to get information from your client in order to help them. If you don't know what they're looking for, you can't help them find it. The second one is you want to build the trust. And that ultimately is where you're going with rapport. Because let's face it, both Brett and myself, we're helping our clients with what's likely going to be one of the largest purchases of their lives. Even if we're talking an entry-level house that's $250,000, that's a lot of money. That's putting people into debt for 30 years. You know, as you go up in home prices, you know, once you hit $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, that's an enormous amount of debt. That's an enormous responsibility. So yeah, we take our fiduciary duties extremely seriously. And the very first step to let the clients know that is building rapport.
And that's, yeah, it's so important. Really well said, Jason. And I think this is key here. As you're building that rapport, the goal is to have a deep connection with someone and truly understand so that you can support them, right? And that's through connecting with somebody, asking great questions. We talked about chunking and values. We talked about future pacing in some previous ones. But let's continue to dive into defining value. Once you have built the rapport, ask great questions, have discovered the needs and the emotions behind those needs, by the way, mirroring and labeling is a great way to establish that you indeed have heard correctly what the emotion, what the purpose and the drive is behind whatever they're asking for, whatever that would be a great outcome for them. But once you understand that, your value again becomes the bridge between where they are and where they want to go. And that bridge connects what they want and then how they can get it. The path to the solution leads through you. In other words, you become that guide where you have that unique skill set. It's going to help to bridge the gap between where they're at and where they want to be. And so here's the big error, though. It's trying to solve the problem while still in discovery. One of the biggest challenges I think we all face, Jason, is, you know, we're in that first meeting and it's trying to fit too much all in all at once. Because we've helped so many clients before, we've closed so many deals, and our ego gets in the way to think that we know better than the person does. And it's trying to move, in other words, the relationship or the thing too fast, right? You ever had that friend, Jason, who is in a relationship with somebody, or not quite even a relationship, but just getting to know them, but they wanted to move that thing fast, right? To dating or even faster towards marriage. And all of a sudden the person's going, whoa, what was going pretty good feels like it's moving too fast. And so any thoughts on that?
Well, I'll give you a great example. Me personally, I'm a car nut. So when someone, usually a guy, but not always, goes, hey, listen, I'm looking for at least a 2-car garage. Instantly in my head, I go, great, he's got toys he wants to store. One of my clients wanted a wood shop. And that was what his garage was going to be. So you always have to ask questions. So instead of just going, great, you need a garage for toys, and you know, I still ask the question, so what are you using the garage for? And me expecting to hear, oh, it's going to be, you know, whatever type of car. He goes, oh, it's my wood shop, which is why I have to have power to it. You know, having water there is great as well, but not necessary. But I'd prefer the garage to be actually separate from the house versus having a bedroom above the garage and being attached. I'm like, that makes sense, especially with a wood shop. So that's why you always want to stay in curiosity. My personality, I have a tendency to jump 4 steps ahead and be very impatient. But I know that about myself. So I actually have a checklist where I go through and make sure I ask the questions and slow down. So, you know, for me at least, That I know is my weakness, and I have something to counteract it. So know what yours are as well, to make sure that you're actually helping your client do what they need to do.